I think a good way to put it is a game of woes. Cowboys in somewhat of a must-win situation, but things like this continue to happen. Cowboys stepping on their own feet. They had 3 turnovers on the day. Were 5 of 12 on third down, 0 for 4, 0 for 3 on fourth down. Just struggles all around as Dallas falls in a big one at home to the Cardinals, 27-17. Dak Prescott, 24 of 39, aired it out quite a bit, 250 yards, a touchdown, did have a pick in this one. Definitely not enough as Dallas has some more questions than they have answers right now.
Do you have a trade still ready to go?
We still can, yes.
It wasn't dependent on this outcome?
Understand what I said. Absolutely, we did. We'll see how tomorrow goes. So today was all about tomorrow. You shouldn't do anything. You should wait and see what we do tomorrow.
Well, if the Cowboys are looking ahead to the postseason, it's a tall hill to climb. Currently on the outside looking in, sitting at 3-5-1. Sitting behind the Vikings, Panthers, and Bears in the hunt. Meanwhile, Eagles looking to snatch back-to-back division titles, currently leading the way at a 6-2 record, dropping a big one to the Cardinals in a must-win-esque situation. Not exactly what the Cowboys have planned. We're now joined by Dallas sports reporter Garrett Podell, and after a letdown for the boys at Jerry's World. And Gary, before we even get to this game, we just got a chance to see you there in the background when Jerry Jones did speak with the media, which obviously caused plenty of questions heading into Monday night's game. But what did you make of Jerry Jones' pregame statement? And is there any more you can tell us about this trade?
Hey, Keiana, great to see you from Jerry World. Yeah, as you saw there, look, I'm trying to give you the up-close reporting here. And yeah, I would say Jerry's pregame statement was interesting. He said, I've made a trade. Now, that actually made a trade comment was in reference to the Micah Parsons trade that was made before the start of the season. And he said he had 2 other deals in the works. And when I was able to chat with him amongst others, as you saw in that video there, he kind of put 1 foot in and 1 foot out on that comment post-game. I mean, he said he has a trade, quote, consummated, but what he then further explained that to mean is he's got a trade sitting on his desk. If he wants to go through with it, he can do it. And he said as of right now, he's leaning toward doing that trade. He wouldn't get into specifics about what it was. He said, look, guys, I'm not trying to be trite or talk in circles with you, but he said the reason why he said what he said before the game and why he's talking so much about it now is he wants the team that he's in discussions with to understand he's interested in the trade. But as of right now, it's sitting on his desk.
Okay, so nothing done, nothing set in stone right now. But now I do want to talk about what did transpire Monday night. Just when you consider coming off of a loss like this, we are moments away here from the trade deadline. How do you think that changes, or if at all, from what you've heard, does that change the way the Cowboys are maybe approaching this deadline?
One would probably think that seeing a deflating loss like this at home against backup Arizona Cardinals quarterback Jacoby Brissett would change the calculus for the Cowboys ahead of the trade deadline. But Jerry Jones said that's not the case. When he was asked, is there any scenario where you would envision the Dallas Cowboys being more sellers than buyers? Jerry had a very quick, short answer to that. No. I mean, he is looking at this as the Cowboys need to get better. I mean, that's certainly obvious. They're allowing just over 52% third down conversion rate. It's the second worst, 52.6% in the last 50 years, ahead of only the 1982 Kansas City Chiefs. So the defense clearly struggling. And Jerry certainly views this as he wants to look and see up until the last minute, 4 p.m. Eastern, if he can improve this roster. And as of right now, he said he is leaning toward doing that trade. And I think what's interesting also is for the Micah Parsons trade, to make that happen, it was obviously Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark and picks. He was asked, would you give up any players in a trade ahead of the trade deadline? He said, no, I like the nuts and bolts, meaning the players, of this roster. If they're going to make a trade, only draft pick compensation will be going to the receiving team with the Cowboys, which I thought was a little interesting because I'm sure there are plenty of Dallas Cowboys fans who wouldn't agree with the sentiment that they like the nuts and bolts of the 3-5-1 Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely. I think a lot of fans would like to see some change, especially when you're considering where this team is sitting and coming off this game on Monday night. But now I do want to ask you, what have you gathered about the state of this team when you're coming out of that locker room? You're seeing these players coming off of this loss. This is somewhat, like I mentioned, a must-win situation because of where you're sitting, 3-5-1. Obviously, you're trying to gain some ground there in the NFC East. But you think about this defense that would struggle to get much of a stop. The offense wasn't able to carry out some of these drives. What did you hear from the guys in the locker room?
Yeah, I had a chance to stand by Kenny Clark at his locker and talk to him about how does he feel about where things are at. And I thought what was kind of illuminating was he was asked, do you hear the boos? Because there were plenty of times tonight here at AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, in which the crowd booed. And a lot of the times it was on when the Cowboys had 3rd and longs. It was or forced 3rd and longs defensively, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 14. And the Arizona Cardinals converted over and over and over again. And that's really when the boos started to rain down. I noticed one moment when Marvin Harrison Jr. had his 3rd or 4th 3rd down conversion on a reception. And it was against Deron Bland, the Cowboys' best healthy corner in man coverage is what it appeared to be. And the boos just rained down. And Kenny Clark said, you know, that doesn't affect you, but we do hear it. And he said he understands Dallas is a place where they want to win games. They want to win championships. And they have plenty of work to do. So I think the players are very well aware of the situation they're in. And it was a very somber, quiet post-game locker room. So even though Jerry had plenty to say about, you know, we're going to be more buyers than sellers, we're going to look to maybe leaning toward consummate a trade that he's got sitting on the table right now. The players certainly recognize where they're at. And it's a very sullen mood in the Cowboys locker room right now.
As one would expect, coming off of a loss like that, I think you had a lot of maybe momentum, or you had wanted to bounce back, especially off of that loss a week ago. But now an opportunity to restructure, resettle in, and maybe get back at it after this bye week, because it is a tough stretch ahead when you're at Raiders, but then you do have Philly, Kansas City, and Detroit coming up for Dallas. As always, Garrett, we appreciate you stopping by with the latest. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Keiana.
Absolutely. And taking a look at the NFC East standings, I mentioned it's a tough road to climb for the Dallas Cowboys, but currently they're chasing those Eagles, sitting at 2, looking for their 2nd straight division title. Cowboys, again,